They don't give a shit. You see, they don't give a shit. I had this conversation, I believe, with my mum on Saturday morning. It's a case of what they're doing is it reaches the point where it's fuck all to do with our religion. Mm-hmm. It's just them just being barbaric, just trying to assert their dominance, trying to scare people, trying to prove something by doing it in the most putrid of ways.
See, but I would say that it is because of their religion. I would say it's entirely because of that. I would say it's because they believe it more than you've ever believed in anything in your life.
What gets you to that point though, where
attached.
you live a life where you need to have religion as a massive comfort blanket? You live in a religion onesie and it smothers you. How the fuck do you function in the 21st century like that?
Because imagine growing up in like an oppressive background, like an oppressive environment anyway. So say like the general like Muslim setup where there can be a little bit of oppression. Well, like that. It seems that way anyway. I don't know if I actually say that for a fact.
I mean, the burqa's a prime example of just basic oppression.
Yeah,
of the female rights,
Saudi Arabia and stuff.
Yeah.
Where the fuck was I going with that? Oh yeah. So, as a human, that's not really like natural to grow up in an oppressive like environment. So you're gonna want to try and like make sense of why you live in that type of setup anyway. So why not just totally throw yourself into what it is that's causing that in the first place, i.e. the religion? So that way you're justifying the shit that you're living in, and that it's easier to take then.
Yeah, but
because imagine if.
But you're doing that, Phil. But you're doing that. But what's the byproduct of that? It's murder. You're killing people to prove your point.
That's how strong the ideology is.
Oh man, it's insane. Mm-hmm. It's insane.
It's horrible, isn't
it? You never know when stuff like this is going to happen. When events like what happened in Paris are gonna crop up, 7/7. You never know when it's gonna crop up. Mm-hmm. And already you've got people like Alex Jones, who I used to like, but now stuff like this comes up, and the first thing he's saying, false flag. It's the government. Just fucking calm back down. Conspiracy theorists. As much as I used to be one, and still am to a limited degree, I've got a bit more common sense now. Something like this happens, it's almost like they're waiting for an event like this to jump on board and say, well, look at this guy, meh. This is the same woman crying at the same event. That's the thing. It gets to a point, it's insulting.
Yeah, and it's like, not every single act can be a fucking conspiracy, surely.
Do you mean to tell me that they're not doing this to keep the fucking guns down from the public?
Maybe they can use things that happen to sort of like plug their own agenda.
It's a byproduct of events that take place through the evolution of time.
Mm-hmm.
If something like this happens, it's going to cause something like gun suppression to occur because of what's happened. It's not done to affect the gun laws.
It mightn't have been orchestrated. An inside job, basically. Yeah. Everything's not an inside job.
It's not a game where everything's planned out. Well, if we do this attack, then that gives us right to talk about the guns, and we can keep the guns down and put military on the streets for the new world order. No bullshit. What it is things like that are issues that come up as a byproduct of these events. Stuff that has to be considered again. I mean, obviously, this is France. They don't have any guns. They don't have. The public don't have firearms. It's not like America. But if you take, for example, the journalist shootings a little while back, a few weeks ago in America, the former CNN reporter, I think it was, he shot them. That was brought up as like, this is a false flag. She didn't really get shot and all this sort of stuff. They're saying this and they're bringing it up, and what they're saying is this is a false flag to limit our right to bear arms and stuff. No, they're talking about gun laws because she was shot using a gun. You fucking idiot.
And it's like, could it have been prevented if arms weren't so readily available in America? That's why that conversation comes up. But you can also imagine that like the guys in the upper echelons, you can imagine that they might sort of see these things as like happen. Like if this happens here, it could impact this here, and if that occurs, we can then use that to further our agenda.
Well, I think it's more a case of if something like this happens, sometimes parties can seize an opportunity to jump on board and then get their ideologies out there and use a certain event to further their own agenda. Yeah, I totally believe that. What I don't believe is events like this are planned to do that. I don't believe events like this are planned. Like, right, what we'll do is we'll attack a few spots in Paris, blame it on these radicals, and then that means we're going to enforce some kind of civil militarized law in Europe. I don't.
Yeah, just look at what ISIS are all about, and it's like, that's That explains it.